Such affectionate acceptance.
Put a chick in it, make her gay.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
They were big. They were hitting hard too, man.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
Broaden the areas of participation for women.
That sounds very stylish.
What is my problem?
What do you think?
Beat sitting home watching television?
Hello, how's everyone doing this evening? Thank you for joining us. Have a really good guest tonight. Great creator, has produced some really good comics, and currently has a really awesome character, Bloodbone, right now, Ashcan out. But without further ado, let's go on and bring our guest. Let's see what I want to use here. Dun, dun, dun. So many clips, I can't decide which one I want to use. Well, let's just do this one here.
Gross. Freaking idiot.
That's not what I think of you. It was just what I saw there. So, hey, how's it going, Edwin? Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I mean, you can never go wrong with Napoleon Dynamite. So, all right,
it's just that weird offbeat humor. It just really connected with me.
Yeah.
I felt
I
like
remember watching that. Yeah, I remember watching that with my buddy, and we would quote the most random lines and stuff. It still cracks me up to this day.
I need my chapstick. My lips hurt real bad. So anyway, I know we have a little bit of a tight schedule today. After this show, you're going to be on with Pete Smitty. Mm-hmm. So we're going to go ahead and kind of get right to it. Your latest project here is the Bloodbone Ashcan, which I was lucky enough to pick up the one that you were offering via your PayPal in 2022. And I know it's kind of hard to pick up the detail, but I love that shiny cover. The character is just so iconic looking, huge muscles. You just look at him and right away, you know, this guy means business. He's going to kick some ass. Yeah. And you get a little bit of surprise, with in the Ashcan, because you're like, wow, this guy's big. And then you kind of get a little surprise and you're like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. But I don't want to spoil it, even though it is short. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But let's go ahead. If you don't mind, I'm going to show your trailer that you have for the Ashcan, and then we'll chat a little bit about what it's about, what the character's about, and maybe touch on when the comic's going to be releasing there. Let me go ahead and pull this up here. Share screen. Yes, I want to share it. And Bloodbone Ashcan, share. Okay. Oh. Nice. Oops. First off, definitely props. I like the sharing or the little special effects and everything that you put in there. It's a lot of fun. It just adds that little extra zing to the trailer. So tell us a little bit about a Bloodbone here, and I'll pull up the campaign on FundMyComic. Tell us a little bit about the character and I guess what it's about a little bit, I guess, without giving too much away.
Sure. Yeah, so Bloodbone's the story of a man who returns to his hometown after being gone for several years, and he discovers that it's been overtaken by a criminal organization. So he decides to become a vigilante to take back the city from this criminal organization, and that's basically what the first kind of Ashcan is about. It's basically, you see Bloodbone kind of making his presence known to this criminal organization and their bosses, and kind of chaos ensues from there.
And he's not having any of it. So,
No.
is he kind of like a wrestler kind of persona?
He's got a bit of a mysterious past, but as far as like his skill set goes, he's very much kind of more kind of MMA inspired. The idea of, you see, like, he's got the hand wraps, he's got like that singlet and stuff like that. So everything's basically, he can use weapons and stuff, as you can see in the first kind of Ashcan, but he prefers kind of hand-to-hand combat. He's basically a walking tank. So
I was going to say,
need any weapons. Yeah,
he's a huge brute. I mean, he's like a walking weapon himself. These muscles. Yeah. Now, is he like a meta-human or anything like that? Does he have superpowers, or is it just his size, his girth? That's his kind of like superpower, if you will.
Yeah, I call him an enhanced human.
Okay.
The idea with Bloodbone in this universe is that there's a lot of kind of scientific kind of experiments and stuff like that. It's very much based on like the early Marvel universe, and a lot of like the Spider-Man villains, people like Doc Ock, Rhino. They all have kind of these enhancements, and a lot of the people that you deal with the Bloodbone universe that you see all kind of have a similar slant. There's no real superheroes here. There's nothing like, there's no Superman or Wonder Woman equivalent. Each kind of character has enhancements that make them more than human, but it's very much street level. So there's nothing, no grand, there's no aliens, no spaceships, nothing kind of like in the Ace, which is kind of like bigger kind of traditional superhero universe. It's a lot more street level, kind of like Spider-Man meets kind of Daredevil kind of style.
I gotcha. Yeah, because he's pretty large, and it's like, is it roid out, kind of thing? Is he juicing, or just kind of in this world? That's how he kind of developed into.
Yeah, we definitely play with his background. We give you little glimpses of it and stuff, so you can kind of start piecing some stuff together. But we really wanted a character, especially I did. I just want a character that basically had a lot of mystery to him. He doesn't speak much. You kind of hear some of his thoughts in some of the pages, but he's very much kind of action oriented, and I like the idea of like that. Like I said, it's complete 180 from the Ace. The Ace himself, David, is, he's very talky. He got some quips and stuff. He's kind of like more the traditional superhero. With Bloodbone, is very much kind of like, I wanted like an air of mystery. I wanted to like start revealing little things each issue. You go, oh, it's a little interesting. I can kind of wonder where that's going. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're just not all flooded with the information all at once. It gives the reader a chance to kind of connect with the character first, learn little bits and pieces over time. I really like that approach. And the art here, this was Donald DeLay, right? The interior art. I love his style and everything too. He has a particular style. I like how he does the indication of the movement, the motion, and everything with the lines. And you could tell he has a lot of fun with with what he's doing and crafting each panel and creating a scene. How much input did you have in the creation of the different characters and everything?
I had like an outline, basically kind of like, this is what I'm going for, but I just kind of let Donald go loose. Me and him, we have a very similar kind of mindset of what works in a comic book and what kind of people want to see. He's got a very kind of like cartoony style, but it's not fully cartoon, Right. He kind of keeps it in the traditional superhero sphere. So like, as you see some of the pages there, you see the page where Bloodbone has the guy by the neck and he's standing on top of the bodies, but he still looks heroic. He manages a way to like have all this kind of little goofiness with the gunshot sounds and stuff. Yeah. Like, it's a little kind of silly and stuff, but then it's also
yeah, more like Uzi sounds. I love how the grab.
Yeah, all that.
Yeah, it's really cool. So these are the kind of the crime mob kind of people that Bloodbone decided, okay, enough. I'm gonna take care of these assholes, kind of thing.
Yeah, basically he tracks down this meeting from some of the bosses. of the organization, and he kind of decides to kind of put them on notice. And basically, at the end, you see it gets revealed that the corporation basically finds out that about Bloodbone after this attack. So like kind of leads into issue number 1. And basically, he gets on their radar, which is like his intended motive to do. That's why he crashes it the way he does, and he doesn't leave any bodies behind or anything. So he meant to send a clear statement to these people.
Did so other than like his neighborhood and everything being overrun with crime and these like assholes trying to take over, does he have any more of a personal connection that we'll find out later on to the mob guys? Is there a reason, like a personal reason, where he's like, yeah, I have to go after these people?
It's mostly to the city.
I said,
Bloodbone, he grew up in this kind of beautiful kind of metropolis. He was there until he was an adult, and then he decides to kind of see the world. When he comes back, he's been through a lot of stuff. Kind of like the setup, kind of similar to like Arrow, the first 2 seasons. Oliver comes back from the island. He's a changed man, and he sees like he has a purpose now. Basically, when Bloodbone comes back home, he sees his city has been turned upside down. It's no longer this beautiful metropolis. It's turned into Gotham. It's very like dark place, and a lot of the people that he grew up with are kind of suffering.
Yeah,
and
you can see like
yeah,
even in this panel, like just a girl trying to mind her own business, walking through the neighborhood, gets jumped by this weird looking guy here.
Yeah.
So he kind of comes from that aspect of somebody needs to do something, so that somebody might as well be me, kind of thing. And he has those huge weapon arms to kind of take care of it. I love the design and everything. Did you come up with the kind of like the cloth mask kind of thing?
It's a collaboration with Donald. Originally, he had more like a Bane type mask. He's very much inspired by Bane. He had like that kind of the luchador mask, but then kind of decided to switch it up a bit and give him more like the open mask. I want him to be more kind of like do it yourself kind of. That's why I like the hand wraps. He doesn't have these fancy gloves or anything. Like he had like a singlet. He doesn't have this cool costume. It's very much kind of basic, kind of bare bones kind of stuff. And you can see like this is like him becoming a vigilante. So he's basically just doing the minimum to kind of like, because he's not worried about anything else. He's just worried about kind of, so he can get the job done. This is just what he needs, the bare bones to get the job done.
Yeah, I was looking at some of this art too. These are really nice. The pieces that you were offering, original art pieces and everything. Looks like some of those Shelby Robertson sketch cards are already sold out, but you have Anthony Figaro. See how many of these, was it just one?
There's 3 of them.
3 of them there. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Like I said, it just looks really cool. I like how the colors, everything just pops. Are we ever going to see him kind of maybe evolve over time? So as he kind of learns the ropes and everything, maybe he'll, I don't want to say upgrade the costume, but maybe add some more elements to it, to add protection or whatever. Almost like Batman Begins, how he, over time, he just started with like the really rough kind of bulletproof vest. And then over time he was able to upgrade until he got the final, what we know as the Batman suit.
Yeah, I mean, there'll definitely be some tweaks. One of the thing about the story is basically Bloodbone starts at the ground floor, and it sounds easy. Oh, he's trying to take down this criminal organization. How long could that take for a guy like him? Then you realize, no, he's going to be facing a lot of different obstacles and threats, and the further he goes, the closer he gets to the leadership, the more he's going to have to go through. We're going to put him on through that test. That's all good, like superhero stories go. So he's definitely going to be facing challenges as the issues go on.
So as he goes deeper and deeper down that rabbit hole, he sees that, it's it's going to be a little more complicated.
It's not going to be like the Ashcan. That's as easy as it gets.
Yeah.
It only gets harder from there. So, it's just going to be a fun story. Like I said, the reason I like the Ashcan idea is a good primer for people.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a really good, it's a good introduction to the character. It gives people just right off the bat, boom, here's some action. and with the great art. Now, you and I were kind of discussing before we started that when you launch the issue 1 of the Bloodbone comic, you're going to have Joe Ball do the interior artwork, correct?
Yeah. Me and I've known Joe for years. Like he's done some pieces for me and different things, and we've been kind of looking for a project to do together. And I kind of pitched him the idea of doing the full Bloodbone #1, and he was down with it. He's still finishing up Death, so it's not something that he had to like fully commit himself to. He can kind of take his time with it, while he worked on Death. And so we're planning on launching late next year. So gives everybody plenty of time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and this, will kind of wet everyone's whistle in the meantime, get them excited for the character. For this story, do you see it kind of like a several issue story arc kind of thing, or is it going to be like a one and done kind of story? How do you plan to approach that?
Yeah, I see it going as an ongoing. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of different challenges and different story ideas that I have. So you're definitely going to get a good number of issues. It probably won't be as long range as Aces, but you'll definitely get a good number of like issues before it kind of wraps up.
Very nice, very nice. So let's take a look at the different tiers that you have here, which for the quality of the Ashcan, I would say it's definitely some pretty good prices here. People want to just get the PDF; they'll have it instantly. This one is $12, and well, I assume that it's instantly. Will they have the instant access to it if this is what they back?
They'll start shipping. They'll start being sent out when the shipping starts.
Okay, so they'll get the code or whatever, I guess, to download that.
Yeah, so I'm expecting sometime in February to get everything started. So the first email should go out around the same time.
Right. So just around the corner. That's really close.
Yeah, everything's already done for this. So, the print file's already set up. I just got to send it to the printer. So,
and this one, I'm definitely going to have to double dip because I saw that you added, it isn't just the new page. You added an additional 4 pages, a short story by Maxi. Is it Dalio? Am I pronouncing that right? Dallo? Yeah. Okay. And he also worked on the lost pages and everything. Are you allowed to hint a little bit what those extra, what that extra little short story kind of pertains to?
Yeah, you see the first 2 pages at the bottom there. Basically, Bloodbone interrupts this kind of like serial killer who's targeting women. In the town, he does what he does to them.
What serial killers do.
That's like Bloodbone sees something bad. The thing about this universe is like, I wanted to make clear that the people that Bloodbone takes out are scumbags. Mm-hmm. They're like criminals. They're murderers. They're assaulters. They're all this kind of stuff. So like, you don't have to feel bad about Bloodbone ripping into these people. Like, we're not doing shades of gray here. Bloodbone is extreme, but he's a good guy. He's doing it for the right reason. And the corporation hires the worst of the worst. So all those things are like, you don't have to feel bad about like, when he's ripping into these people. Like, no, you're good.
Yeah, I kind of like that too. It reminds me of Dexter in a way, although Dexter wasn't technically a good guy. He had these horrible tendencies, compulsions, and he wanted to kill people, but he just decided, I'm gonna harness that and go after other serial killers and bad people. But I like that concept. It is nice to where you can see the hero just lay waste to the bad guy and not have to feel bad at all about it. In fact, you're probably like, yes, just rip his head off. Let's see here. So I'm going to go back up so we can see some of the other tiers. Excuse me. Okay, so the regular second chance Ashcan, you get a copy of the second chance. I can't speak tonight for some reason. I'm so sorry. Second chance Ashcan comic. Again, with that
cover
awesome
by Shelby. Yeah, Shelby killed it, colored it, did the whole thing, just blew it out the water, and I was super happy when he sent me this.
Yeah, that is awesome. And This person's having a really bad day. So $15 shipping. This will get you this awesome kind of introduction to Bloodbone, and that 4-page extra story there. So you get extra carnage. These were some of the original ones that you had.
The foil Ashcans were super limited. So like I only had like 5 or 6 left and they're all gone. So like those won't be reprinted in that form again. So it's a real collector's issue. And the ones who got it, I think lucked out. It's one of my favorite things I put out.
That's what I'm saying. It's just absolutely gorgeous. You can kind of catch a little bit of the shininess on there. But it's hard to really, appreciate just exactly how beautiful it is on screen. But when you see it in person, it is just top notch. I was really impressed by that. But that just goes to show, don't miss out. If you didn't get the foil this time, definitely get the Ashcan here. You don't want to miss out. This is a pretty cool character. I could see him taking off and really being popular here. So you have the blank sketch cover. Did I miss one?
I think you're still on yourself.
Oh, am I still? I am still on myself. Thank you for telling me.
Yeah, so I'll say like this won't be offered again. Like I'll have some extras that I'll have, but this is basically it for the full number 1. I'm just gonna focus on having the full number 1 comics. So, like these are limited. The stuff that I do isn't like I don't do like keeping the store for 6 months or whatever, or like stuff is limited. Like I have one of the big things with me is I'm trying to put out books and fulfill them, so I can put out my next project. So once I'm kind of done, like I'm basically a couple of weeks away from finishing up Raid of the White Leopard. Like I'll have some extras, and then that's pretty much it. Like you won't be able to get another thing of Raid until sometime next year if I do the second book.
Right.
So like these are stuff is very limited. So jump on it.
Are you going to stick with FundMyComic going forward, or are you going to try to spread it out to get the most exposure you can?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to be testing out all the sites probably next year.
Yeah.
I'm looking at putting my feet in Kickstarter for the first time. I'll be back on Indiegogo probably for Ace 3. I'll do some stuff on FundMyComic also. So I'm trying to get the new crowd fund pops up. I might be on there too. I'm looking to get out everywhere next year. So we'll see how it goes.
When you're trying to make a name for yourself, it's nice to have that exposure everywhere. So I can definitely appreciate that.
And also now I have like 4 fulfilled campaigns. So 4 different
I received the White Leopard. I have a stack, and I am so sorry, but that's one of the ones that I need to go ahead and review there. Impressed. I just kind of flipped through it a little bit. I was impressed with how it looked and everything. So now I can't wait to read
Avery's artwork is insane on that. It's I thumb through it before I send out every issue and pack it, and it's just like, this came out fantastic.
Yeah, Mutt was saying the Donald art looks fantastic.
Thank you, brother.
He definitely has a style for sure. Really nice.
Yeah, I think it's the best thing he's done, and he's done a lot of great work. But I just think like the character lends himself to all of Donald's strength. But he can just go loose, like he can just kind of go nuts on these pages. So you kind of get to see him shine. I was super happy for everything. Like I said, I want to get him to do more Bloodbone stuff too in the future. Like I said, this is kind of like an opportunity with me and Joe. Like we were actually friends. Like I've known Joe now for years. So this is like a sign that we can vibe together on. But yeah, I've worked with Donald. He's done covers for me. He's done tons of great stuff. So I definitely want to work with him in the future to have him do some more. Maybe I'll do a short story or another Ashcan or something. Yeah.
You could bring on guest artists and everything, I guess, depending on how many issues you decide to produce, whether you go yearly or bi-yearly or whatever. But I'm down. I think it's just an awesome creation, awesome character design and everything. So I'm looking forward to seeing the world that you created, and I'm looking forward to seeing Joe's take on it.
It's gonna be so good. Like when I start revealing some stuff next year, people are gonna be mind blown. Like anybody who's seen Joe's pages knows what he can do. When he gets down to it. So
he is like hyper detailed. When you just look at some of the samples that he's put out there for Death, and it's like, holy crap, dude.
And
Like
he
how
hasn't even
long?
put out the best stuff for Def 2. I've seen some of the spreads that he's done,
Yeah.
different stuff that's just like insanity. I just like I don't know how he could put that on a page, but he sits on his down that next to that table and with the ink and the white out, he just goes nuts
I
on it.
just have mad respect for people who can do that. Like I can barely sign my name anymore. Like I have one of those doctor signatures now, so I can't imagine trying to draw something that intricate and just detailed, unbelievable. Let's see the okay, so that one was the foil. Okay, so the sketch cover. It'll just be blank. So if somebody wanted to get that and go to a convention or whatever, you could have your favorite artist do their, I guess, take on Bloodbone or
Yeah,
something
that's
else.
gonna
I
be
don't know why you'd want to do it, but yeah, get Bloodbone on there.
put whatever, put your own character in there, It's just
Yeah.
meant to be drawn on and enjoyed as long as you read the book. It doesn't really matter. So why
I
to do
would just
something
hate to
different
see
and
like
test it out?
Superman or something
Hey,
on there.
go Superman. Like I said, these are meant to do whatever you want. I'm completely fine as long as you support the book and you read the story. I'm good.
That's
So like,
fair.
yeah.
That's fair. That's a
So
good attitude to have about it too. And then this is the double blood bone second chance Ashcan. So this will get you 2 copies of the Ashcan.
yeah, so it gives you a bit of a discount if you want to hook up
Yeah.
with your buddy and get 2 copies. So a little break on there.
Yeah, really nice. I like when creators do that. Especially for potential comic store owners. They want to get some of the good indie stuff in there. If they can get a little break, I really appreciate them doing that. And then again, these were the sketch cards that we went over. Like I said, that's just beautiful stuff. I love Anthony Figaro's take on this too.
Yeah. It's one of the cool things about the character. The reason why the color scheme is the way it is,
Mhm.
there's something how comics, I think, was the first one who kind of came up with the idea of like, Bloodbone's very violent and he starts off with the white mask and the hand clasp, and by the end you see that last card right there. That's how he
Yeah.
ends up. That's blood right there.
I was gonna
That's the
ask. I'm like,
damage
he
he
didn't
does.
change the color. That's
Nope.
like blood,
That's
right?
literally like you'll see it all over him by the end of you see it, basically if the inside pages were in color, you'd
Mhm.
see like the last page would be him covered in blood, because that's what he does. He leaves destruction around him. So
I
you
like
know,
that.
yeah,
It's like a version of the Incredible Hulk, but
yeah,
where he still has his wits about not wits, but like his mind or whatever. Like he's aware of what's going on. It's not like just total rage or anything like that. Yeah. So anything else that you would like to let people know about Bloodbone?
like I said, it's mostly will be limited. I'll have a couple extras that I'll probably put up like on an Etsy store, but I don't know how many extra I'll even have. So like
Yeah.
if you want it, now's the time. We're only like $87 away. So we're super, super close for getting funded. And that gives me a little breathing room once I know it's fully funded. I kind of
Yeah.
relax a little bit. So, like I said, everything is done. The print file's already set up. All I'm waiting for is to hit the funded mark, and then I'll send it off to the printer to get approved. So, like I said, expect it to start sometime in February, to start shipping out. It should be quick turnaround. Like I said, I'm basically done with Raid of the White Leopard. I have like a handful left. It should be fully shipped out to everybody by the end of the month. It's the deal, put these campaigns out, ship everybody their books, and then start the next one. And we got big plans for next year. Ace 3's coming, Bloodbone #1's coming. Who knows? Maybe you might see another Raid or something with Raid.
Nice.
So like it's gonna be a busy year. So yeah.
I like that too. It's like you got to have you're just hustling, keep going, keep producing, and I think you just as an artist have to be like that. Always be producing and everything. And so far, I'm really digging what you've been putting out here. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to really dive into the White Leopard yet, but I'm definitely looking forward to reading that story. The concept was just you don't really get to see too many Viking stories and everything. So I was like, oh yes, something unique. I'm on it. So tell me a little bit how do you come up with a concept? How do you come up with an idea? Is this stuff where you see maybe Vikings or something on TV, and you're like, "Oh, that might be a good idea for a story," and then you just kind of your brain starts working, or with Bloodbone, do you see a huge guy just laying waste, and you're like, I think I have an idea where I could come up with a story for that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a longtime comic book fan, so a lot of these kind of stuff, it's inspired from stuff I've seen, stuff I'm a fan of. Obviously movies, TV shows, all of that. Each kind of book I've done has its own kind of process and its own frame of reference. Like Ace is very much based off, my favorite kind of superhero, which is Hal Jordan. So it's got a lot of mix of Green Lantern. It's got aliens, spaceships, all that kind of stuff, mixed with Darkhawk, which I was a huge fan of in the 90s. A book that I grew up with that I thought had like tons of potential, but was never fully realized. So it's very much inspired by that. And then Bloodbone, is very much more street level. Like I said, I'm a fan of Spider-Man. The idea of this guy who's like enhanced and has got all these abilities, and then he faces other people who have enhancements. So it's a very much 180 from Ace. It's completely Earth. It's this town. It's street level. It's no big superheroics. And then with the White Leopard, I'm a huge fan of 13th Warrior. The idea of mixing kind of like real life Vikings with like kind of Black Panther kind of ish superhero element, and kind of blending both of those together in like a weird combination that I don't think has ever been done before. That was super like interesting to me when I started writing. I just thought like, I don't know what this concept, if it'll work or it'll be terrible, but it was super interesting to me. So I just had to write that. So that's kind of what all three of those started.
I love it. What are your interests movie wise? Do you like the superhero movies? I know the latest batch has been kind of
I'm pretty much tapped out after like Endgame. Really, like to me, I haven't really been inspired. I haven't really watching too many movies these days. I was a huge movie fan when I was growing up. I'm a big fan of like action movies. Like I said, movies, kind of the epics, Gladiator, 13th Warrior, stuff like that. I love big epic, something kind of more street level, action packed. Movie like Assassins. So very much kind of on the more the action genre, adventure kind of stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned 13 Warrior. I haven't seen that, I think, since it came out in the theater. Like,
Gotta watch it again.
I know.
Trust me. The thing is, it's not 3 hours. It's not. You can just literally. You got 2 hours. Sit down, watch it. You'll fall in love with it again. I always recommend it to people. Like it's one of my top 5 favorite movies. I think it is super well done. I think it's got fantastic performances. It's got great casting. Yeah. It's like a movie that it's instantly watchable. Like it's one of the easiest watches you'll ever have. Like I said, it's not, you don't have to spend 3 hours. Like there's movies that I love, but I don't have 3 hours to spend. Like,
oh my God, I know.
Like, I just don't, so like give me something that's under 2 hours that I can just sit back and watch. That's perfect.
It's like if you expect that kind of commitment, you're gonna have to buy me dinner first.
Nah,
like
come on. Back in the day, like I'd watch the whole Lord of the Rings back to back, all 3. Unless I had time to spend. But these days,
it gets rough. I like to play video games, and it's hard. I kind of have to just get in that mindset where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna block, several hours of my day and just bam, 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 try to get through the game. But it's not like being a kid and everything. It's you got to prioritize. Hey, Ollie.
Oliver, what up?
Yo. Great to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Let's see what do you have a chance? I know maybe not, since I know your time is precious, but do you play video games or anything?
No, last video game I played, I think was Max Payne 2.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah,
that would have been a minute.
Yeah, like I just can't. The amount of time, and I get into it. Like trying to beat these games like takes over. It's not a good thing. Like it's just after a while, it just got like I'm spending too much money on these systems, and like I started, working like a regular 9 to 5, which took up most of my day. It just became a thing of like, I gotta cut something off. So video games became the easiest thing that had to separate. But every once in a while, I'll like look at stuff and I'll be like, nope, you can't go down that rabbit hole. You can't. It'll get crazy again. So yeah.
Ollie was laughing. He just said, "Ha ha ha! I was just talking about Max Payne with my bro."
It was fantastic. Actually,
That
correct
was
myself. It was Max Payne 3, not Max Payne 2. Max
okay.
Payne 3 was the last one I played, and it was fantastic. I love that game. Just
I
all three of them are great.
I only dabbled with the first one a little bit with the bullet time. And that was revolutionary for a game back in the day. And I guess it drew the influence from the first Matrix movie. That was, oh my God. Talk about a great action flick. Well, the first one anyway. The other three just kind of or the other two.
I defend the second one. But then 3 is just they had no plan to end it. Yeah.
The second one had that amazing highway scene. That was just like, holy crap.
And it's set up great. Like, I remember the end of the thing, like, oh, I can't wait for 3. Like, I'm so excited. And then 3, you're like, no, that wasn't it.
it didn't, it wasn't. I walked away like, did I just get mind screwed? Like, what the heck happened? Oh, you know what? Ollie was just talking about the last game he played was the Resident Evil 4 remake. I picked that one up. This is how bad it is. I picked this one up, I think, earlier this summer, and it's still been sitting wrapped. I have to bust it. I don't know. It's like I have to get my mind kind of situated in like in a particular zone. Like I'm going to focus on comics for a while and do this, or I'm going to, focus on gaming for a while. I don't know, OCD or something, but that's what I suffer from. Have you seen? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm trying to think like the last, maybe Resident Evil 5. Is that the one with the blonde girl?
The four was the one where they were going through that village and he had to protect.
That's the one.
Yeah, the president's
that. That
daughter.
was really good. Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
I will. I promise I'll play it. I promise. I got it for the. I got it for the PlayStation 4, and I think Sony was allowing me to get the PS5 version, upgrade for free. So I was going to try to do it that way. But I haven't played it since the old GameCube days. And you go back and you look at these visual effects then, and it's like, wow, I thought they were so impressive, but they look really boxy and janky and everything. But man, at the time, it was just mind-blowing how great they looked. Let's see what other one. I still like playing like the old Nintendo games. I wish Nintendo had a better online service than what they have. It'd be nice to kind of connect with other people and play their old games a little bit more easily than they have it set up right now. They're always about 10, 15 years behind, I think. Yeah.
Nintendo's always on Nintendo time,
Yeah, exactly. And we fans, we just kind of deal with it. We're like, all right, smack my ass. I'll take it. Did you happen to see Godzilla by chance?
No, I keep hearing great things about it though. So I might have to take some time and check that out. Like
that's one of the ones. It is a little bit longer, and it's not just a mindless, just Godzilla tearing down the city. You do get that, which is great, but you get a story in there, which kind of surprised me. I was like, wow, I wasn't expecting a story, but definitely recommend seeing that. And if you could do the IMAX, that's the way to go for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I just picked this up as a Ollie was saying he got the Super Mario RPG as a birthday gift. I just picked it up for a Christmas present. So I asked the hubby, I'm like, I got this for myself. Could you wrap it up for me? I'm going to open it up on Christmas just so I can have a present to open up. You become an adult, and it's just like, I don't want anything for Christmas. I have everything.
Literally like the last thing I want to be thinking about is Christmas presents. Luckily, I only have a couple people in my family that I have to worry about, so I can bang it out quick. But like shopping, especially these days, you're just like, the last place I want to be is the mall. Like, get me out of here. Yeah, it's terrible.
It's horrible. Yeah, we went by kind of like as for fun to people watch the other day, and it was okay, but I don't know, the hustle and bustle. I guess when I was younger, I would get kind of wrapped up and excited about it, but it's
exciting when you're young, you get to see all the stores and everything.
Yeah.
But
and you're, as a kid,
you're
like,
as an adult, you're not trying to see people. My job's to avoid people as much as I can. So.
Yeah, I mean, these days I could definitely understand that. Ollie was saying, "Hey, give out hugs this Christmas."
If I could get away with it, I would, brother.
A big
Yeah, I would.
hug.
Yeah.
It's got to be hard, being a parent these days. And when I was growing up, it was just, little toys. I could get like a Barbie or a Ninja Turtle and I was happy. But now kids want the gaming systems and all that. It's like, good Lord.
I mean, I can't knock it. Getting like the Sega Genesis
Oh my God.
with a copy of Sonic 2 and Streets of Rage 2 is still
Yeah.
the greatest gift I've ever gotten in my entire life. Like I have so many fond memories of like Streets of Rage. It was like just completely just a revelation as a video game, and then Sonic 2 was just the most fun you could ever have. So like, if kids can still have that kind of like memory, I think it's worth it. But yeah,
Yeah.
like upgrading every 2 years is like that's crazy.
Yeah. No, it's,
Come on.
it's like leasing it or whatever. I think the best Christmas present I ever had was my parents got me the Thundercats Cat's Lair, and that was the coolest thing ever. And assembled it and all that, and then it had that little kind of the villains had this. I guess it was supposed to be like a little flying, almost like cycle kind of thing that they could ride, but you would hold it, and so one kid would hold it, and it had buttons on it, and it would shoot out a light because this was pre LED lights and everything, so it would just shoot out a regular light, and then if it hit the like the lion's head a certain number of times, the doors would fly open and an alarm would go off, the trap door would go, and that was epic. That was like the best Christmas. But yeah.
That is legit.
It was. I wish I still had it. Oh my God. One of those things you don't appreciate your toys when you're a kid.
I know.
And then when you get older, you're like, I wish I had
I know.
it.
It's like I remember it's like a kid that had the Castle Grayskull. Just like thinking like I didn't even know how lucky I was. There's little pictures of me as a kid, man, figures.
And it had like the little like dungeon and trap, but didn't it have like something where you could pour like the slime and everything on?
Just like I had it good, so I can't complain about that,
Yeah, kids today don't even know.
They don't know. They have no idea, Then getting a new phone, that's not gonna make up for like memories, A new phone you'll trade in next year. That's nothing.
Oh, sometimes I want to slap the kids. I mean, I see like 2-year-olds glued to their phones.
They should get slapped. There's just maximum sense in them.
Yeah, here, read a comic or something. Like, what's wrong with you, children?
Use your imagination. Stop staring at that screen. You'll go blind.
Yeah. So true. So let's take a look at go through the project again here. Let me pull it up. There we go. Go back through. And refresh here. All right, so 53 days to go. And again, like you said, the great, you have the price point's really good. Anybody that just wants to, jump in, maybe they don't want to have to pay for the shipping or anything. The PDF is definitely a good option, especially for people overseas. I know shipping is just horrible.
Sending a package to Sim was almost like $30.
Where was it?
Canada. Sim lives in Canada. It's just like, it's brutal. It keeps going up every time I go send a package international. It goes up a little bit each time. I'm just like, and
it's not like you're getting anything more for it,
No, it's literally I try to pack stuff as light as possible, and it doesn't really matter, It is
they bust out the tape measure. They're just like, oh, I'm sorry, it's over
every penny. It's crazy,
ridiculous. But if you do want to go and spring for physical, which if you have that option, I would definitely recommend because it's
only $5 US shipping. So
that's not bad at all. Good deal. Now you're going to get the extra 4-page story. Definitely a great deal. I love that Donald DeLay art. Look at that, the action. As you can tell, I'm easily excited. And if why not go for the 2? What is the shipping still the 5, or is that a little bit more since it
Maybe
has the
7,
okay?
but
But
I
I
don't
mean
think
it.
it's much more than that. Yeah, you still save a couple bucks regardless.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So that's the way you go. And like you said, you could have one for you and get one for a friend. So definitely a good way to go there. And if you're feeling extra special, there are we still have some of the sketch cards left. So definitely pick up on that. Really, what he kind of reminds me of a little bit is what was that character's name from Street Fighter? Was it Venga? Not so, obviously Venga wasn't
Vega.
yeah, Vega wasn't huge, but he had the claws. But it's something about the mask and the eyes
Yeah.
kind of remind me a little bit, especially, yeah, kind of like that where he's looking straight on at you. Reminds me a little bit of that. Good stuff, good stuff. And there more of the blood that we were talking about, how he's going to end up just soaked in blood. I mean, how could you not want that? I mean, it just a great action comic, classic story of a guy feel that he loves his city. He sees that it's in trouble. Just he feels compelled to do something about the crime that's plaguing his city, and he just happens to have the gift of being a huge, huge, bulky guy. Powerful arms here. These guns.
Now I say Bloodbone doesn't really need weapons. So
yeah, no, he is
a
the
weapon.
walking
Yeah,
weapon.
so that's like fun. Like I said, something kind of different. I didn't want to have him carrying all these different weapons and everything. So you get to kind of have fun when it's kind of more street level, more kind of like that one-on-one kind of hand-to-hand kind of style.
Yeah,
I think makes it really dynamic when you see. It's the thing that makes Hulk cool. You see Hulk just like smashing people. You're just like, oh, it looks just like a cool visual to it. Something different that nobody. There's even like other hulking characters don't really match up. When Hulk is at his best, when you have artists that can draw him at his best, it's really something different. So
yeah, like Dale Keown just has him ripped to shreds. Really awesome. It kind of reminds me, going back to the video game thing, they had that Ultimate Destruction, Hulk Ultimate Destruction back in the day. So much fun. You just jump at all the buildings. You could rip cars apart and wear them as like gloves and just beat the living daylight. Again, it's the little things in life that are that we take pleasure in. Oh, goodness. So I know you have a little bit of a time limit, and I want to make sure you have time to get on Pete's show. And if for the people watching here, please feel free afterwards to go over and watch Pete Samiti. Edwin's going to jump over there and hang out with good old Pete Samiti. And talk a little bit more about Bloodbone. But before we leave, is there anything else that you want to make sure that viewers are aware of?
No, I think we covered everything. Just want to thank everybody for who's been tweeting out and letting people know about Bloodbone. It's always appreciated. And if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter. It's the place where you'll get all the updates on anything I'm working on, including Bloodbone, Ace, all that fun stuff. I'm Edwin Aces. So give me a follow. I'll follow you back. Yeah.
Awesome. And I know you mentioned before about possibly, if you do have any extras, you don't like doing the keeping the store open all that long on the crowdfunding site. Yeah. But do you have a way where people right now can currently pick up your, prior works? Like if somebody wanted to pick up Aces now, do you have an Etsy store or anything like that now where people can pick that up?
I have copies of Ace Volume 2 are available on the King Toad Inc. website.
Okay.
Me, Joe Ball, Shane Mess, it's kind of where we all put a little conglomerate together, and we have a bunch of back issues that you can grab there. And nice. I have copies of Raid of the White Leopard on my Etsy store.
Okay, and how could people find you there on your Etsy store?
Easiest place is just to go to my Twitter profile. It has the link to the Etsy store right on it. You can just click on it, and it'll bring you right to it.
Okay, perfect. And then the Toad, you were saying the other one,
King Toad Inc.
King Toad Inc. And then that's just kingtoadinc.com.
Yep.
All right. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate you reaching out. I'm a huge fan of your work. I think you have a really creative mind. I love the characters that you come up with, the concept. Again, like, with Vikings, we haven't really had any Viking comics or anything. So it was nice to get something fresh. And, your take with the Bloodbone character looks like it's going to be so much fun when the comic launches next year. So again, please, people, jump on it if you can. And again, like I said, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you again sometime.
Yeah, definitely. It's a pleasure being on here.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. And tune in next week. We'll have a special guest I will be announcing soon. That will be my last live stream for a little while because I'm going to be traveling. But it'll be a good time. Hopefully we'll share some laughs, some memories, and all that kind of good stuff. So see you guys next time.
50 sets off of me. I've had enough. Get the hell out of my house. In Jesus' name, I pray.